Juan's left flank for 2k4MyAss and he's Mayans. Then we got Fire in the pocket as Huns. So, and we have Dogao as Mongols on the right flank. Dogao is going to be facing Moonlight, and Moonlight is Huns as flank for the Chinese. Fang is Mongols pocket, and then obviously we have Paladin on the flank as Mayans. So you can have Paladin against Wan. It's an outright Mayan war. And then you got Hun's pocket versus Mongols pocket, and Hun's flank versus Mongols flank for 2k4MyAss. So I'll leave the rest to you, Mr. Wiki. Quite open map for the Gao, if you look.
Yeah, it's really open.
So
But I think the most interesting spot to look at now is between the Gao and Moonlight, as they're probably going to be engaged in fighting the most.
I'm just looking at Wan's map. Honestly, I wouldn't be at all surprised if this becomes a restart. Look at Wan's map. That front. The front of his map and his two wood lines are miles away from his TC.
Yeah, his wood line, well, his gold is in the back, so that's okay. But as you say, he's very open at the front. The hill isn't really helping, especially next to the wood line.
And it's a huge gap to try and bridge or stay safe, because you can't stay safe. You can only protect one wood line really, unless he does one huge wall. Whereas Paladin's map is much more, it's like a normal Arabia map. Very straight,
yeah, indeed.
Very straightforward. And I'll jump across to Moonlight. Moonlight's fairly open, but again, nothing at all like Wan.
Yeah, indeed. The gold is again in the back. Decent boot line, maybe not the prettiest, but it's doable. And for the Go, we have reasonable boot line, I guess. It's easy to wall off at the back, but that's not really necessary.
Yeah. Do you want to just check? They haven't done anything. It's still showing as a pause at 1:53.
Yeah, it's still a pause.
Do you ever resume the game room?
I'm pretty sure they did not.
Can you resume the game room so you can just
On it?
Yeah, let me know then if they all. Here we go. They've
Okay, they already
started. But I'd be, as I said, I'd be very surprised if Juan doesn't call a restart here. But if he doesn't, then he's certainly going to be aggressive.
Well, he hasn't. He already scouted most of his wood lines and most of his resources, so I think if he would call a re, he would do it by now, unless of course his teammates stop him from doing so. But
no, I don't think that would happen. Yeah, he's pretty much scouted how bad his map is right now. I honestly, I don't like any of Juan's map. That huge hill up in front with his one gold, his stone on top of his berries, is just begging to call restart.
yeah, as soon as Fang just gets up that hill with some archers, he will lose his gold and his wood line. So maybe we can even see a defensive tower there later on if he's really getting harassed too much. But as you mentioned, he probably wants to go aggressive.
The Gao's doing a lot of flaring already, where he's going to be walling and covering himself in. It looks like it's just all for himself, so he's not thinking at the moment of telling Fire to do team walls. So, be interesting to see. Anybody off trying to steal?
Yeah, I'm looking at the hill between the Go and Moonlight, and there's already a scout lost. I'm not really sure whom's it is. I think it's the Go's. Yes, it is on the hill. I'm not sure if he tried to lame a ball or anything. Or whether he fought with... Yeah, he probably fought with Moonlight Scout as he only has 3 HP left.
We missed Darcy.
A bit sloppy to lose a Scout that early.
Very. And the one board didn't look like it lost much hit points from Moonlight, so maybe we just missed the Go trying to take it. Where did Paladin's Eagle go? No, He's not going to get to Wan's ball, I don't think.
Okay, so Fang is now actually scouting Yuan at the moment. And I hope he's going to notice what his map is and he is going to make some proper use out of it. He is playing as Mayans. I'm not sure. Would he go Archerish or would he prefer the Drush here?
You don't see Paladin playing a lot of 1v1 sort of games. So I don't think he'll Drush.
The distance is also pretty big, of course. It's not the biggest deal with a Drush, but you're wasting a lot of time and it's of course getting less effective, even though Yun's map is really bad.
The Ghost still really flaring a lot to get walled. I don't know if he's expecting Fire's help here, because there's no real need for him to keep shouting.
Okay, so Barracks coming up for the Gao. Might be going for the Drush. 7-minute Barracks.
Yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised the Gao is gonna Drush. I'd be surprised if Moonlight...
No, they're really close and... well... Moonlight's map isn't the best one. I mean, his woodline is pretty far away. So it might be quite effective. He isn't getting up at Drush himself, so I wonder how this will end. Whether he's going to get a barracks up soon and do a defensive Drush, or simply tries to go for Foodle quick enough. Fang is going at 21 pop Foodle as pocket. That's quite early.
Yeah, that's very early. Is he going? He's going forward, look.
Yeah, he's sending 3 villages forward currently. It seems like he's going to forward Fire here.
Is he on stone or getting close to stone? No, he's gone 4 on gold.
Yeah, 4 on gold, so he's probably going forward
Archers.
and archers.
What has he scouted like? Does he know exactly where he's going? Yeah, he knows exactly where he's going. He's going to go straight on top of the Gao's woodline. Woodline is a gold and a stone, look.
He is going to get scouted by Yuan, who is tracing Fang's scout. So the villages can be seen. He's putting up a barracks now, but he should see this coming.
Moonlight going forward as well. He's going to be met though by the Gao's Drush. Is the Gao's
Yeah,
going to see
indeed.
it?
No, and the wolf is
And
of
a
course
wolf.
also
Oh, that
going
was
for the villager.
really handy for the Gao.
And his scout isn't in the neighborhood either, if he still has it. No, he lost his scout as well. No, that's really a problem.
That's worked out really well for the Gao. He knows that Moonlight's coming forward. Moonlight's had to send 1 vill back, which I think will be safe. It'll make it for the wolf.
Yeah, I think it will. 1 militia is almost down. It's down to 1 HP.
But the
So
Gao,
he should be able to fight this.
he can fight it, but at least the Gao knows exactly what's coming, and the Gao hopefully can keep those 2 still alive and harass and slow
Yeah,
Moonlight
indeed.
up. Because the
Really
Gao's
important
got
to see the forward coming.
Yeah, the Gao's got quite a nice map as well. I mean, he's protecting himself off the back end, and he's got a nice spot in the front. So I think the Gao will be really comfortable at the moment in this position.
Yeah, it's simply walling off now, so that will really delay any archers, and I think he should be able to go fast castle because this map is really easy to wall.
Yeah, there's Fang's tower. He maybe could have been a little bit more aggressive with that tower, but it's still a good tower. And he's going to have his scout there, he's going to have spear there, and he's going to have archers there. So Fire needs to be really careful. Fire's gold's at risk with archers coming, and his wood is already going to be taken out with the tower. He's got backwood, which is not the end of the world, but he's only now putting up barracks.
Yeah, indeed. I'm just wondering. Let me see.
Meanwhile, the Gao...
Why is at 27 pop and almost feudal? I think he cannot simply go straight to castle without suffering too many losses from this forward. So I'm expecting some feudal defense from him, but or defensive towers soon, but he cannot see this one coming.
It depends how quick Fang is, because Fire may well have clicked up by then. That's going to be the worst thing for Fire, if Fang just delays those archers being shown until Fire clicks up. If that happens...
so the first tower's up and he didn't really see it coming, so he has to... Okay, he's going with the stable now, so I expect him to go scouts.
But I think he was just going straight fast castle, but those archers from Fang are probably going to hurt Fang more than Fire now in one respect, because I would have really liked Fire to have clicked up the castle before Fang showed those archers, because then it would have really paid off, I think, for Fang. Because he would have caught Fire, clicked up the castle, no res to be building anything else to fight in the feudal age. He's going to risk it, he's going to go to castle Fire. Trying to harass.
It's coming for Yun as well. Yun is just getting his archery. Wait, is this his second archery range or his first?
For who?
He's
sorry?
getting his first archery range up, and
who?
Fang is coming with 2 archers and 4 villagers. So this might actually become this tower and archers on the hill we were looking for.
Yeah, that's his second archery range, Fang. He's got 1 back by his barracks, so he's double archery range. He's obviously going all archers. And Fire's just clicked up 1 stable.
There's a lot of early aggression in this game. We see Moonlight
defending
down the tower, double archery range. And this is quite an interesting move. Fire is claiming the second gold because he probably fears that his other gold is going to get taken down by archers too easily.
Paladin is going exactly where we said he should with the State of Wan's map. He's now controlling like that front, that hill, berries, stone, gold. It's completely defensive.
I'm wondering, did he mine more stone, or is he going for a single tower? He did not mine more stone, so we're just going to see 1 single tower over here.
Moonlight's
and
Moonlight's
as we mentioned, Yuan is getting the defensive tower on the wood and gold, which is really important for him to keep, because his other wood line is so far away, it's too easily harassed and hard to wall.
Yeah, the one good thing for this game is Fang's move onto Fire. If Fang can delay Fire, both Fire's flanks, Dogao and Wan, are going to be wanting Fire's help going fast castle, and he's not going to be able to give it to either of them. So they're both in a very, very defensive position, and Fang's move on Fire has been a massive change in this game, because Fire isn't going to be able to come out and do anything to help his team. He's going to be spending all his time just taking things off him.
Well, Fire is up to castle, almost up to castle age, but he doesn't really have any wood income, because his 1 wood line is being taken out by the tower, and the other one is simply being harassed by archers. He doesn't have any army.
And Fang is coming with a couple more spears as well to go with his archers, so obviously Fire has to be very careful, but then Fang has to be careful with his archers as well. He doesn't want to get caught by knights. He needs to put that army together with a couple more spears, and
yeah, he needs
Fire
to be
won't
very careful. I mean, the wood lines do not matter too much at the moment, as he mainly needs his gold and his food. And Fang is actually going for more towers. It seems like he has been mining stone, and probably is going to tower his second gold.
One is 8 villagers down on Paladin, both same civs, both flank, so that's a... He's castle age though, obviously, and he's now trying to go forward, I think. He's gonna try.
And if we look at the fight between Moonlight and Nego, it seems to go quite even, but I really have to give Moonlight the edge, because he simply has this hill he's fighting on. But as they're going mostly skirms, I do not expect too much eco damage, more like a delay to castle, because they both have to invest so many resources.
Fire's going forward with 2 knights, obviously not upgraded at the moment, too early in the game. But I think Fang is going to be fine. He's been expecting this. He might have the odd little bit of delay or harassment, but I don't think Fire's going to do anything. I think he would have been better off keeping those knights at home myself. To go with the siege, he's going to make a mangonel, obviously. He would have been better off keeping those knights at home. You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to slow up Fang, or just check Fang's not completely open and taking a big risk at home. But Fire's in a heap of trouble.
Yeah, indeed. Fire's in a really difficult spot over here. But what's really interesting, we know Yuan was getting harassed earlier, but he's actually up to castle way earlier, as Fang isn't even castling yet. But he is now on the offensive with his crossbows.
Yeah,
And he might even be sending those crossbows straight to Fang's base.
Paladin, you mean? Paladin's a long way from clicking up if you look at Paladin's resources, but I don't think Wan is going to be able to do anything. All Wan can potentially do is try and hit the pocket as well as Fire, where Fire went with his 2 knights. But Fire's in a whole heap of trouble.
Yeah, Fire's now helping the Gao out in the fight with his knights, but
there's too many archers
really seems...
there. There's too many archers with Moonlight. It's not just skirms. There's a lot of archers mixed in, and he's got the tower defense with a lot of buildings around it. So I don't think Fire's going to do anything. And Paladin's also now gone to Fire as well. Fire needs to be very careful. If they move into where his gold and his wood is, he's going to lose that left side.
Yeah, indeed. He's just losing his right wood line already, and the left wood line isn't really safe either.
Nope.
And he simply cannot pump out enough knights to actually do a lot here. He's going for scorpions. Really interesting but effective choice against these feudal archers.
We don't see scorpions very often early castle. I thought he was going to go Mang, but you're right. Scorpions have been an absolute perfect choice. They've really bailed Fire out there. The Gao and Moonlight's just got huge feudal army fights. Mainly skirms for the Gao. Well, all skirms, I lie. A couple of archers coming in now. But you're right, Moonlight, the Chinese have taken absolute advantage of the map positions that the 2k4MyAss team had. They've taken the front hill from the Gao, and Paladin tried to take the front hill from Wan.
Yeah, indeed. It's really interesting how they use this map and obviously find the weak points of their opponents. And to be honest, I'm a bit surprised, as you mentioned earlier, with Yuan. He has one of the roughest maps, but actually seems to do really well as he's harassing Paladin and Fang at the same time. He is now in Teal's base with his crossbows and actually still putting pressure on Orange as well.
Yeah, well, that was a good move from Wan. He couldn't have done much to Paladin, so he went to the Chinese pocket and did a good job with Fire's knights. So yeah, I mean, they've taken the score lead. It'll be interesting to see what happens once the Chinese players hit castle though, and if Moonlight, the Gao seem to have got rid of a lot of Moonlight's army here on the front of his base. If you look, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I think he was too busy with his little army in the back of his base, but he really lost an awful lot of skirmishes and archers there, even though he had a hill advantage earlier.
Yeah, he's lost pretty much everything from the front. And I mean, all that the Gao had at the back was 4 archers. One's coming in now.
It seems to be really turning on them, to be honest. They seem to have such an advantage, but...
Well, if one comes through now to Moonlight's wood line here, then Moonlight's going to be hurting. I don't know if one's going to spot it and come in. But he's put a tower in an awful spot. Only 2 villagers at the moment building it, the others are idle around. One's not taking advantage of that delay at the moment though. But he is also in Paladin's base. I think Paladin's got anything forward now on Wan. Oh, he's put a tower on his wood line and another tower coming up on the back of Wan's wood line.
Yeah, Moonlight has basically put up 3 defensive towers at this moment, and well, of course it works, but it still is quite an investment.
Paladin has to be careful here. He could walk straight into the Gao's army on the hill. Oh, he's going straight into the Gao's base. The Gao obviously spotted him.
Yeah, hard not to spot it. He already has the crossbow and upgrade, so
yeah,
that's
but Paladin's
quite an
up against
if he uses it.
a load of skirms, so he doesn't want to lose those crossbows. He has to be very, very careful now. The Gao's full skirms there, look.
Yeah, but Paladin has like an additional 2 range, so if he places properly, he can pick some off before he even comes close. Ooh, Fire is taking out a lot of archers with his knights next to his base.
Well, it looks like they've more than steadied the ship.
Yeah, indeed. I think this is really... they turned around the game. At first, when the others were going so aggressive, I have to say I had to give them the edge, because they were denying resources and seemed to have the better positions on the map, but with their later castle times, they really gave away some fights, I have to say. Because in my experience, the 2 flanks were going even, and Fire was more losing than winning. But now it seems like most of them are actually winning at this moment for
Elite skills for the go, but he's picking a downhill fight. The mangonel shot might come and do the business though. Boom! Run away, Mr. Paladin.
Okay, so Paladin is obviously going Blooms now with a defensive castle. I wonder if he's going to do much with it. Most players are getting that TCs down on the second resources now.
Villager counts are fairly sort of equal across the teams. The Chinese Pocket Fang is the lowest of all of them, but it's nothing major.
And I guess that is to be expected a little bit, as he had a lot of crossbowmen in his base, and well, if you're forwarding and you get something in your base, it's really hard to respond. It takes a lot of time, and he still isn't castling.
Is Paladin gonna sit underneath Wan's tower? I think he is. Oh, Wan, that's gonna hurt. That's going to hurt.
I wonder if he's getting a mangonel out at this moment, or yeah, he's creating the mangonel.
3 villagers. I don't think Paladin will stick around for long. Now that they've moved, he'll probably disappear and leg it.
Yeah, he should really get out of there, because there's a huge wave of crossbowmen coming, and that will easily win of the little amount of crossbows he has in his base.
Moonlight trying to harass Fire with knights. Fully upgraded Fires.
If your opponent has way more knights.
Fire's just got +1. At 30 minutes, you can see how busy he's been. He's been just trying to create knights.
Paladin is over halfway up to Imp, so, and he's getting barracks up, so I expect him to go Eagles really soon. And that's going to be really hard for you to deal with crossbowmen.
Well, you've got the Chinese Pocket Fang. He's sending all his resources to Paladin. So they're hoping Paladin can swing and change this game now. You can see Fang, he's really behind the rest. He's obviously gone for the sling.
Yeah, indeed. That also explains why he isn't even castle yet. But of course, it's also really hard to stabilize with those crossbows in your base, harassing everywhere.
But he's so open. I mean, normally, if they got a sling like this, the Chinese, they will be all walled and completely safe. But he's just wide open.
Yeah, I think he just didn't expect to be attacked when he was forwarding. Like, everyone was taking this small 1v1 fight earlier.
I think Paladin's gonna probably end up doing most of his work trying to stop everybody hitting the Pocket Fang.
I think that tactic for now is like, let Paladin get as much eagles as possible and see if they can maybe take out someone's economy and, well, see if you can climb back from there, because in my opinion they're quite behind at the moment. But those eagles can be really big against Yuan's archer-only army.
Yeah, the problem for them now though is Fire's going to be able to just free boom. Free boom, there's going to be nobody touching Fire as the Hun. because the Chinese pocket, the Mongols, has just stayed feudal sling. He's done nothing since, and you wouldn't even say it's a huge sling.
Yeah, and he's still getting harassed an awful lot. Like, he got these knights and those expos in his base. I'm really worried about Yuan at this stage, because he doesn't really have anything to deal with those eagles. He's getting more plumes and more crossbows, but those eagles already have 6 PS armor at the moment and are running in with quite big numbers.
Yeah, but he's gonna be able to have Fire's knights to come and help him, because Fire is literally alone, free boom. So Paladin really now has to stop attacking Fang, and he has to take out Wan, and he has to fight Fire. So
Okay, Fire is going for the wall and probably is going to boom and send his knights to help out Yuan, as you said, indeed.
Well, Paladin, if you look at Paladin, he knows he has to harass and hurt Fire because there's nobody else touching Fire. So he's got a bunch of eagles now on their way down to Fire.
Yeah, indeed, but those... Okay, they are in greater number than the knights, but they're not really favored.
No. But that's why there's a lot of work Paladin's got to do now to turn this game around. And I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work either. I mean, Paladin has to push out the pressure for the two of... for himself and for Fang, because Fang is basically doing nothing now. He's in feudal and slinging. Yeah, of course, he's helping his teammates a lot, and that's why he can put out more pressure, but I'm not sure if it is enough.
I think Fire's bringing his knights back, which I think is a bad move. He could look at the damage they could do on the Chinese pocket. I mean, he is absolutely, completely wide open. The Gao is walled himself in, which, okay, he has to be careful with Moonlight, but they need to be a little bit more aggressive now, I think. They can wipe out that pocket or absolutely take him out from slinging.
Fire's getting more knights, but he really needed those a bit earlier. Okay, he was a bit lacking on gold, so I guess that's why he didn't have them. But he's getting really outnumbered by those eagles.
Paladin doing the job trying to raid Wan as well. And Siege
Yeah,
coming
indeed.
up behind
But most
Wan's
of the
base.
eagles coming through are heavily damaged. Of course, his eco will be just setting ducks in the meanwhile, but...
Oh, Paladin going through the gap into Gao's base at the back.
Oh,
Not massively, but it's certainly going to harass the Gao. There's more on their way.
he's going to get a second cast on the hill to stop the... well, to damage the eagles getting in mostly, I guess. Ooh, Moonlight is now also attacking Fire with knights, but not an awful lot, to be honest.
Wan and the Gao are both almost Imperial though, so Paladin's going to find it harder and harder unless he hits them really fast. I mean, he's harassing the Gao probably better than the rest of them at the moment.
Okay, so the Gao is almost Imperial Age, but I'm curious what he's going to do with it.
Well,
As...
he's gone archers, so I haven't seen him. He's now trying to drop a castle. He'll eventually obviously switch to Mangudai, but at the moment I think he's going to upgrade.
Yeah, indeed. Well, yeah, I hope he is going to deal with Moonlight or something quickly, because there's not a lot of pressure on Fang now. Every form of harass has been removed out of his base. If he can simply get up to castle and start booming a bit more, then he's really a dangerous player again.
Wan's an Imperial, unless he's got a shed load of plumes in those castles, Wan's in real trouble.
Yeah, indeed, his army just cannot effectively deal
Yes,
with the
it's
amount
not
of
too
eagles.
bad actually. You haven't got a bad army, and they're sat between two castles. If Fire can come and take those trebs, and Wan will drop out of his castles with those archers and plumes, I think he'll stop that push there and save those castles. He needs to go now. Out.
Yeah,
out.
I really want him to rush towards those trebuchets earlier, but he is losing all his knights on the way through. the trebuchets, so
One
I
needed
really
to
feel
come
the
out.
castles are going down. There's a 4th trebuchet incoming.
One needed to go out, not stay and try and repair, because he's just left Fire's Knights go there with those eagles, and one sat on that hill just by the gold with the hill advantage and the 2 castles helping. They could have taken those out. Obviously, don't get me wrong, he's extremely busy, and Paladin's still doing a job of trying to harass everybody.
Have you noticed the side already with Paladin going for the siege, for the cap rams?
Yeah, down behind.
Yeah, indeed. It's really interesting because it hasn't been spotted by Fire, it seems. I will go to his line of sight and see.
One is saying he's GG, he just can't stop those eagles.
He really cannot do anything about the eagles. He has like 30 archers in those castles, but that's nothing for those eagles.
I'm surprised that both Wan and Doggo have gone Imperial Age before Fire as pocket. And Fire Huns as well. His Paladins could have done so much damage. I mean, it would have stopped Paladin.
Yeah, indeed. He really needed those Paladins earlier, and, well, I think the main problem here is that Fang actually, in the end, did a really good job to
done the same again,
hold
Wan.
Fire back on booming.
If you look at Wan's castles, they're full. There's a shed load in there, and he's allowed Fire again to go into all of that army on his own instead of sitting on the hill in front.
I mean, yes, archers aren't the best thing against the eagles, but they still do something.
Yeah, well, sat on that hill there with Fire's Knights going in and distracting.
Meanwhile, between Moonlight and the Go, there isn't an awful lot going on.
No, it's very quiet down there. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's simply both players are booming a bit, and I think the Go is favorite there, but
Well, he's going to be Huns.
Paladin is putting so much pressure on Yuan now. I think the Go is going to be way too late.
Well, he's going into Fire's base as well, and Fire's not Imperial. I don't know how close
No, the
he
Eagles
is.
and the Rams, I think this is game.
Well, Fire's not going to stop that eagle push now with the Rams. He's got nothing back there to stop it. He sent what little army he did have to try and stop them pushing into Wan. But Wan's castles are still full, which okay, he's saving his army, but I think he could have saved Fire's Knights by being a lot more aware.
Yeah, to be honest, even if they manage to go even like now, if they can hold the Eagles a bit back and, well, they are not pushing, and if Paladin is not pushing, even then I would not be favoring Fire and his teammates, because...
Well, Fire's at 92 vills, which, okay, is not the end of the world, but 45 minutes and he's not up to Imperial, he's not close to getting there yet. You'd have to stop a lot of production of military to be able to get enough res to go to Imperial, and I just can't see that.
Looking at villages, Fang and Fire and Yuan are most back, so 2 from one team and 1 from the other team. But yeah,
but you can see the damage done to Fire. I mean, he's at 42 idle villagers just then, because obviously they're all in TCs and idle, and Paladin is just clearing out his base. No, there is no way in the world that Fire's going to stop this. He's going to be reliant on Doggo sending a load. And Doggo,
but look at the distribution of military, it's amazing. Moonlight has 2, Fang has 0, and Paladin simply has 74, probably largely, mostly Eagle Warriors. And yeah, for the other team, Yuan has some military, but those are mainly archers, and that isn't effective against those Eagles.
I think we're both in agreement. There is no way back at all for 2k4MyAss now.
No, there's no way to restore this. Even if the Gao gets... Yeah, I don't know. Mangudar isn't really great against those Eagles either, so... I cannot really think of a way to win for them.
Wan is trying to send his entire elite plumes. But I mean, the Gau's base is getting overrun. Fire's base is almost non-existent anymore. So there's no way Fire's doing much to get back into this.
No, his stables are all out of production. He doesn't have an awful lot of resources. He has a reasonable amount of gold, but that's it. Not enough to get reasonable amount of knights or that stand close to Imperial. And I think this is his... I don't know, he has one more TC, but he has 2 TCs left, which one is going down. Yuan has 1 TC left. One thing I would have liked to see was if Yuan uses Plumes earlier and maybe see if they could harass other players, because it was obvious the Plumes weren't going to do anything against Paladin, but maybe he could find another place on the map where they could have some use and maybe swing his teammates in a better favor.
I think they missed the trick here earlier when, like I said, the Chinese pocket space was absolutely wide open. He had nothing at all there to stop it when Paladin was just getting to Imperial. If they had absolutely concentrated everything on their Chinese pocket.
Lovely how they're sharing 2 pieces of gold in the middle of the map. Now, the Gao is pushing on Moonlight, who doesn't really have anything except a few skirmishes, but...
Yeah, but Moonlight's he's Huns, isn't he? So even if he doesn't go Paladins, he can just do blooming Hussar raids or whatever.
Yeah, indeed, and the damage the Gao is doing to Moonlight isn't really going to make up for the fact that the Paladin simply pushed over Yuan and Fire.
I think if Juan loses those 2, the Gao's going to come in and probably save him. But if Juan loses those 2 castles there, then I think Juan is absolutely ready to call GG. This is all reliant on the Gao now stopping.
Yeah, as you can see, they're fighting about the 3 castles, of which 1 is left at the moment, with Mangudai, Plumes and Knights, but... Well, I have to say, the amount of Knights is rather little, so...
Yeah, but Fire's eco and base is just being wiped out.
Yeah, indeed.
This is absolutely all on the Gao now.
Yeah, Fire is trying to reboom at several locations, but I don't think it's going to do a lot. I mean, the Seagulls have to find it and it's down again.
Well, Juan lost both his castles there, but I suppose he survived with a decent amount of plumes that he can get into Paladin and harass if he wants to take a risk. He's going to risk it now. They need to try and get a break. So that...
There's one very interesting thing though, because they are almost all running out of gold and they haven't really started to trade yet.
No. Well, it's going to be difficult.
I wonder how long he can continue spamming those eagles, and if he cannot continue spamming, what his plan will be.
It's going to be difficult to even start thinking of trade now, because the Gao's inside them with Mangs, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And Yuan is actually with the Plumes harassing Paladin in his base at the moment, and that's something I want to see earlier. If you can't beat the Eagles, just try to move around it and make your units effective as possible. But it seems like the spam of Eagles is getting less and less, as gold seems to run out a little bit, even though Paladin has 1 more.
One's forward Plumes, as long as he doesn't get him killed with the castle. They're going to harass Paladin a fair amount to bring him back a little, or distract at least. But they really need Fire either reboomed into this game, or Fire just slinging everything to Juan, to allow Juan to get in this game, because it's going to be impossible for the Gao to keep all sides and hold all sides up, because although he has done an excellent job on Moonlight, if you look at Moonlight, his economy and his base, the Gao's doing an excellent job.
It's interesting because Paladin is swapping back to plumed archers as a response on the elite Mangudai, it seems. Or maybe he wants to get... Yeah, I'm not sure. The Eagles did a better job at harassing, but I guess he wants to deal with Yuan's plumes and the Mangudai.
Yeah, there's actually quite a lot left in this game, I think. The Gau's done an excellent job. He really has.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm really surprised how Paladin got slowed down this much, because he was pushing so rapidly through Yuan's base and Fire's base, but they seem to stabilize, and the Gao is simply still pushing. I'm not really sure how they're stabilizing. Is it simply Paladin incapable of putting more pressure on due to lack of gold?
Yeah, I think it is all around the gold front. I mean, they haven't traded, they haven't really started trading, and that's unusual. 56 minutes into a game, 3v3 when they were on top. I think they maybe expected it to be done quite soon.
Maybe they were as optimistic as we were. I mean, the markets were placed down quite a while ago.
Come on, this is tyrant level. This is tyrant level trading here, guys. Okay, here's Fire's market. Here's Fire's market.
Beautiful.
And there's the other market. This is cool trade. This is the best trading we have seen, guys. Top level game.
And Fang actually hit castles. 58 minutes in. The Gao is really pushing quickly.
The Gao is a monster in this game. I mean, I don't know what to say. The Gao taking out Moonlight and stopping them killing off Wan has absolutely saved this game for 2k4MyAss. In fact, not saved. Paladin's going to have to do more work now to try and turn this game than he did to try and win it, because I think Moonlight's going to be GG soon.
Yeah, Moonlight is trying to reboom next to Paladin, but... Yeah, as you can see, Paladin is trying to get markets in the left corner as well to make sure to get some trade on, as they can obviously not trade to Moonlight. But I'm not sure if that trade is sustainable. You easily get some Knights or some Mangudai in that trade route, and no gold for the Mayans is kind of a big deal.
But this is I'm 100% here. This is GG for 2k4MyAss. There is no way the Chinese team are now stopping this, even though we've said earlier this is...
Yeah, I'm honestly very surprised how many swings we saw this game. Earlier the Chinese team was getting the offensive forwarding and doing great, then they got pushed back by faster castle times and better eco. Only to get it turned by the sling of Fang to Paladin, getting those Mars Eagles and almost pushing over 2 bases, but not doing enough to close out a game.
The Gao's boom and go straight to Mangudai without doing much on this side has absolutely saved this game for them. I mean, Paladin's still trying his best to keep Fire out of the game, and if you look at Wan, I mean, Wan's base is non-existent, so they're both on a limb here. They're absolutely on a limb. This is all just the Gao and Paladin, because Fire's not in this game anymore, and Wan, as you can all see, is completely out of this game. I mean, he's down to 10 villagers.
Yeah, but the same can be said about Moonlight. Okay, he has a reasonable amount of skirmishes, but his eco doesn't really seem sustainable either. I don't know if Paladin is slinging them back a little, because his eco is okay, except for this woodline where he has like 30 villages stacked up.
The winner of this game is going to be Mongols. It's going to go Mongols against Mayan. And Mongols is still going to have all of his elite units, and if he mixes in the Hussars with it, then it's going to be difficult, very, very difficult for Paladin to counter that.
It's quite interesting how Yuan still has this group of a few archers. I think it's like, well, what is it, 15 archers still running around in the back of that base harassing.
Yeah, he did an excellent job. He slowed down Fang. Fang was obviously getting to Castle Age and trying to either get back in the game or to be able to sling more, but I mean,
Fire is finally almost up to Imperial Age, and I wonder if he has some form of eco to actually get some paladins out.
He's got 23 villagers. I mean, Fire's got the resources.
He can maybe produce one.
No, Fire, he has got the resources, to be fair. He's 3,000 food and almost 1,000 gold.
Yeah, I think the Gao is slinging both of them a little bit.
No, the Gao's gonna... He needs paladins. He needs to keep his Mangudai safe. Not paladins, sorry, I lied. He needs more Hussar. Hussar with his siege and those elite Mangudai there. And they're not going to stop the Gao wiping out Fang's base. He's
This
already
trade route
destroyed
is so
Moonlight.
beautiful in the south corner as well.
They're still going, like.
Yeah, I can't blame him. I mean, going for it isn't safe. But maybe they could use the right corner and make it a bit longer. But they probably prefer being raided by eagles, and I mean, a little gold is better than no gold.
How much gold are they getting? 7.
Amazing.
7 gold in the trade.
Oh, that's only like 10 rounds of driving for Paladin. Okay, let's look at the village accounts for a second. Yuan is down to 15 fills, Fire is down to 23 fills, and the Yao is 120 fills.
He needs to be careful in Fang's base. He's just crunching into a load of elite skirms and fumes. Okay,
Yeah,
run
he's
through it.
making a lot of casualties there.
I'm
and
glad he's
not really
spotted
doing
it.
anything with it.
Nah, he got spot on, but they're not going to stop that siege.
No, not really the most effective units to stop those siege rams.
But I just wish he does loads more hussars in within out to go. Yeah, he's going hussar. He's still making mangs. His gold isn't too bad at the moment, and he's trying to spam hussar as well.
It's interesting how Yuan and Fang both have no military at all. And as I expected, Paladin is slinging his teammates as well.
Well, Paladin needs to sling the pair of them to get them back to some form of eco and bases, but...
Yeah, indeed. And of course, Moonlight using it to get his skirmishes to deal with those Mangudai and maybe those few plumed archers.
the guy losing his siege to some villagers, which is a shame.
Paladin, however, is taking over Yuan's earliest gold, because of course Yuan had to leave there for some reason. Anyway, he might be getting some gold back now, and I'm not sure if it will help a lot, because of course he has his trade up a little bit. Well, actually not a lot. But this might help him getting some more eagles or plumes.
Yeah, the guy doing the right thing, more and more stables. He just needs to get those hussars in amongst all of the bases he's taken, all of the pocket, which was Fang, and to make sure that they don't rebuild and come back in any of those bases. I mean, throwing away hussars now at this time of the game means absolutely nothing to the Gao. He just needs to spam the hussars everywhere and keep those Mangudai alive.
Even though I agree that the economy probably is plenty at this stage of the game, we have to keep in mind that he probably has to sling both of his teammates as well to actually get some production going.
Do you want to have a look at the actual sling? My board will say who's had it, but it won't say who's sent. I mean, the Fire's had a load. It must have come from the Gao.
Yeah, Fire's had a lot of food, probably to get its Hussa production started or something. And yeah, I cannot really see Ewan slinging him with how many fills does he have?
The idle time.
47 fills.
The idle time's crazy if it's working. Paladin's got 12 hours of idle time on villagers, if that's true. But the Gao has been a monster. So
yeah, the Gao is really keeping them in the game.
So is Paladin, to be fair, but...
Yeah, indeed. It's really like the Gao versus Paladin at this stage of the game, and some small other people playing.
Are they still trade in the same market? They are. Oh my god, it's got even better. Come on, guys, this is a video moment. This is one of these are the top players. Yeah, look where they're trading. Oh, but they go in there. No, am I lying? I'm sure I saw some of them go from there to there then. Oh, that was me. Maybe it was me, guys. They moved their market line a little bit further.
If you look at the Mangudai, from the Gao, at the left, between Fires and Yuan's earliest base, it would be interesting if you can get those Mangudai into this trade route. I mean, there are a few castles in between, and of course the plumes, but the amount of hussars and Mangudai he has there seems enough to actually get there.
I think they need to clean Paladin out from all of round one's base first. Clean, harass, stop Teal, stop Fang coming back, and stop Moonlight coming back. Harass non-stop with those hussars. Stop them building, stop them getting back on the maps. And then, as I said, keep his Mangudai alive to be a slow push for the Mangs until they're ready, and then get into any sort of trade line. At the moment, I think it's a waste to risk losing your army.
Yeah, indeed, especially with little economy from some of the players. Your army is very precious and you need to use it well.
Dogao needs siege, yeah. He's getting some siege again. But
yeah, Fire is also sending capped rams forward.
Those Mongol Ferraris backed up with the Mangudai, and if he chucks Hussar in with it as well, they're just not going to stop them.
Okay, so the Gao seemed... I think he wants to break open his wall and harass Fang a bit more with his hussars. Okay, I think Fire actually found a trade route now, so yeah, the Mangudas are going for the trade.
Yeah.
This seems really important. They actually seem to be pushing back on the left side, and the right side seems to go... well, actually it's quite silent on the right side, even though Moonlight seems to be preparing for an attack. And he might actually find that trade unguarded.
I know the Chinese keep battling and keep going, but this is GG. Ooh, Moonlight's trying to come in with a lot of halberdiers and elite skirms. I mean, they're not real killing units, but yeah, it's going to harass. It's going to make Dogao think twice about where he's going. Oh, Paladin, he's going to get that castle up. But stick with your rams, dog. Get your Mangudai with those Ferraris, man, and then you can just go through the bases. Need to build.
I'm wondering what Moonlight... well, Moonlight is now in the trade, and he has quite an amount of helps and skirmishes. I'm not sure if he can deal with these units with just Mangudai and hussars. And I think trade might even be more important for Dogao than it is for Paladin at the moment. Okay, so everyone, by the way, is back to more
Nice
of a
field.
usual field count. Fire being a little bit behind. And Guan and Fang are still not really producing any military.
They need the map. They need the map control now. The 2k4MyAss team. Keep that map, and they really should have stopped all of this rebuild. None of this should have been allowed to happen.
Now, it's really amazing how many times this game sling back and forth between the teams.
I don't think it's going to change now. It's going to take something miraculous. The Fang has to get back into this game. I mean, he's going Imperial, don't get me wrong, and he is 123 vills, so okay, I lied. How many castles?
Yeah, the field count is actually almost all back to normal, so it's
He's only
actually seems like quite a balanced game. I do not, after everything that happened this game, I do not dare to say anything about the outcome at this stage of the game.
I think they need to, yeah, trade. Trade is now going to become ultra important.
Yes, indeed. And the Gao seems to have protected their side of trade pretty well. Whilst I have to say, Paladin...
It's not a perfect trade route though, is it? I mean, they could have taken all this land, kept that land, built on that land, and then had a rock solid trade route, the full bottom of the map. But both teams were really sort of neglectful on their trade. I mean, at an hour in this game, it hadn't really started properly.
Yeah, indeed, they were way too late starting the trade. The markets were there very early, but no trade cards at all.
I mean, Chinese trade is now moving to way a lot shorter.
I'm honestly not even sure where to look on the map anymore. There's a few points of fight, but most things going on. It's units replacement.
But they need to build on these areas. All these areas they've taken now, don't just leave them blank. Either wall down it and stop all that left side. Take the map control. They probably haven't got the stone for castles, but dump any buildings down there. Block build with buildings. Just take over that land and control the maps. I mean, once the Gao then clears all of this lot here from Moonlight, if they've also rebuilt on this left side of the map, then Paladin and that are not going to get back into it. They're moving markets, yeah. Hooray, they're moving markets.
They both have quite a short trade route at the moment. Well, the Gao's trade is okay-ish, I guess.
You got Fang rebuilding as well, back right down on top of where their trade line is wanting to be. Wan's doing the right thing now. He's starting to build down over the right hand side, but I just feel they could have had this map control so much quicker. But they got this
yeah,
game.
Indeed.
They have got this game now, as long as they're not stupid. See again. Moonlight hasn't moved.
Moonlight seems to do. Well, I thought he was doing okay, but seems to be overrun now. He was making this small, I want to say forward, but it isn't really base. But he's just getting pushed back real quick by the Gao. I'm slightly favoring Fire the Gao and Juan at the moment, because they have so much more land at the moment.
Yeah, but as long as they build on it, then I'm not slightly. I'm 100% for the Gao, and they're back in the game now, and they have the map. As long as they're not stupid with the map. See, I mean, Paladin knows he's constantly coming down to build in these areas.
I think this game is going to last like 4 hours, and we're just going to see these guys going clockwise all the time.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to go clockwise back and forth. I think they'll concentrate. I mean, once Juan really gets back in this game as well with military.
It's interesting because the Gao seems to be pushing on Moonlight and Fang again, but Paladin seems to be pushing on Fire as well.
Because they're not building up in these areas. Either they're walling, they're taking land, and then they're stopping. I mean, I don't know where Juan's walking with these suicide villagers. At the top end of the map. I don't know where he wanted to go. Ah, right, he's got elite Spanish villagers trying to kill a castle.
Except he's not Spanish and is not really killing the castle, but okay, we will act as if.
But Bill, please, really I mean, beautiful. Look, Paladins in the game on fire. They hadn't even walled. There was hardly any buildings out here, no units out here. There's nothing. There was a gold spot. There was all of Juan's old base as well, and they're just allowing Paladin again to be just running into Fire's base.
He's calling GG? Oh wow. Yeah, okay. The Gao is really pushing in on Fang and Moonlight at this moment.
Really good game. Well played, guys.
Wow, really interesting game. I love how it went back and forth a few times. And it's really interesting how Paladin and the Gao both got like this very important role in the team. Just, yeah, getting a small swing and swinging back later on. Wow, really intense.
I mean, there was loads of slings doing the whole lot, guys.